What's going on, guys? Rob A here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Fanstoys FT06 SEVER. This is the third in their Iron Dibots line, or their masterpiece-esque Dinobots, and this is, of course, Snarl the Stegosaurus. And, man, I am really excited about having this guy in hand, finally. Just feels like the wait has been forever, but so far the box art, Unicron WMD, looks really, really nice. Very, very cool. And the sides, of course, are very, very simple. And on the back, very, very something I just want to say very, very a couple more times. But we have a nice little blurb here about SEVER. And I'll just put it up here for a moment, and you guys can pause the video and read it if you so desire. That should be enough. And then we've got, of course, pictures of SEVER here in robot and dinosaur mode, as well as images of his daring do with his sword and laser gun. So really, really exciting. Not a whole heck of a lot else to say. The top here shows a nice drawn image of his dino mode. So basically, I'm just going to go ahead, crack this guy open, and we will check him out right now. Alright, guys, here we have Fanstoys SEVER, also Snarl, also known as Snarl. I'll probably just call him Snarl for the rest of the video, or SEVER. Haven't decided yet. Anyway, he does come with of course, the instruction booklet, which is, it's fine. It does not show the proper way to put the batteries in the gun, or in the sword and gun, I guess. It was just kind of annoying, but it does tell you what sort of batteries you need, and it's a L626 or an LR66 battery, which you can get super cheap on Amazon. It also shows you how to switch out the face and all that sort of thing, so that's fine. You also get the collector card, which is still in the bag. Oops, sorry about the shaky cam. You do get the collector card, of course, and it's a card. You get one with pretty much every, unofficial Transformer these days. It's got all the stats, but they are not in English. And there you go. Those are the paper goods, I guess you would call them. Onto his other accessories, he does come with a sword and a gun. Neither of which have batteries in them at the moment. I apparently ran out of this type of battery. I thought I had extras, but I don't. So unfortunately I won't be able to show you the light up feature, but it's exactly the same as the others, so just use your imagination, I guess. The sword you have to take apart to install the batteries, which is kind of a pain in the butt. But the gun, thankfully, which is really nice, and I'll show these again in robot form, of course, so don't worry about that too much. But the gun is very nice, as it just has this little flip-up piece. You just stick the batteries in there, and you're good to go. So, pretty cool. I'm just going to put those off to the side, and you do, of course, also get these extra accessories. So you get an angry face for SEVER. Arrgh. And you've got some nice red chromed eyes as well for the angry face, as well as some nice red chromed eyes for the dinosaur mode, which is really, really nice. Nice addition. I'm glad they included that. So, on to the dinosaur mode for SEVER, aka Snarl. I guess I'm just going to call him SEVER. So, there we go. But on to the dinosaur mode. Very, very nice. Very big. Very beefy. Very chunky. It's just unfortunate that it's completely ruined by the giant gaping hole. Completely ruined. Look, you can't even look at it. It's terrible looking. I hate it. I hate it forever. What's that hole, you say? Oh, it's this one on the bottom. Yes, it's a big hole. It's there. It's necessary to put the dinosaur head halves and the dinosaur legs inside the robot legs. So it is a necessary evil. I mean, they could have put, something back here that just flips open so you could, flip them in and then fold the panel shut. But honestly, if you're looking at it from any angle normally, which is going to be approximately like here, you're just not going to see it. It's not visible. It's not that big a deal. But people are rather upset about it, which is fine. That's their right. But I just personally don't see it as that big a deal. And of course, Fanstoys is releasing something to cover this empty space up on their next release, so you will have that. As for articulation in dinosaur mode, he does get a little wiggle in the hips if you so desire, but he's got nice articulation in the head. It does swing back and forth. The dino mode head. You can open and close the mouth. It is very tight ratchets. You can close it all the way, and then you gotta kind of dig in there to get it back out again. But either got that going on. The head does, there we go, it does snap shut all the way and stay that way. I just didn't have it quite pressed in altogether. You can see there is a spot for a sticker if you wanted to put any sort of a sticker on there, but it will have to be cut in half, so I'm going to be thinking about whether or not I want to do that in a bit. But the chrome is really nice on this guy. It's a little bit off in shades in a couple of spots, but really not anything that detracts from the overall look of the figure. Looks really, really cool. There is this goofy head bit here. I mean, you know, it does completely break up the look of the dinosaur, but the head's not really meant to look up or down, and it looks fine if you're looking straight on like this, or even on the side, you know, like this angle. It kind of looks okay, but it's obviously not meant. This is for transformation, not an articulation point. So, you know, if you just consider it as the dinosaur head moves back and forth and not up and down, I think you'll be a lot better off. It does have nice articulation in the dinosaur arms here. These are ball joints and they're very squeaky, but it's alright. They don't feel like scary squeaky. It's just like, alright, maybe this just needs to loosen up over time squeaky. And it should be fine. He does have a bicep swivel up on his dinosaur arm, and elbow ratchets, as well as a nice die-cast foot there that can rock from side to side and goes up and down. So very, very cool there. The back legs, of course, are on nice strong ratchets, finally, because these are the robot arms, I should say. So you got that going on. They can go out to the sides, so he can, you know, pee on trees or whatever stegosauruses do. And of course, it's got a nice knee bend here, and you can move the foot in pretty much whatever position you want. It can, you know, end up looking a little silly if you do that, but it does have a nice range of motion. It is on a big, heavy ball joint back here, but otherwise it just kind of tucks in right there and looks just fine. The tail is articulated to swing back and forth, and I absolutely love this. I know there's been a bit of an outcry about the black gearing system inside the tail. I personally love it. I think it's fantastic when you get that nice contrast of like the black innards with the gold armor on the outside. I think that looks fantastic. It really tickles my robot fancy, and I'm very happy to see it. So that is very, very cool. And this is a nice, big, solid figure. I'm very, very pleased with the size. And we're going to show off his size right now. I'm sure most of you probably have seen these sorts of things by now, but it's alright. Once more never hurt. Here he is with Scoria. So you can see they are very similarly sized. There's like the mass is nearly the same on these guys. Scoria's is a little more stretched out, his is a little poofed up like that. But I think they look really, really good together. His gold is a little darker than Scoria's, a little more rich. And then, of course, we'll add Soar into the mix here. Pull back here. There's Soar. And, of course, we'll go ahead and stick MP08 in the mix as well. And I gotta say, with every release, Masterpiece Grimlock is looking way too small. Like, just the size of Scoria's head here in comparison to Grimlock's head, it's like, it's just super noticeable. And even Sever's head is like seems bigger. Like, it's just wider and thicker than Grimlock's little head over here as well. So, you got that going on. Here is Masterpiece Bumblebee, just to show you what's up. There you go. So yeah, Sever, really, really nicely done dinosaur mode. Okay, so transforming Sever into robot mode is actually not that complicated. Might be a little tough just because of the tight joints, but we're going to do what we can here. So we're going to start up at the front of the dino mode here. We're just going to go ahead and split everything in half, which actually is quite helped by the big gap in the bottom here. It really gives you kind of a gripping point. But part of it is made easier if we go ahead and pull the head up like this and then up and forward and just unlock it from this little hinge here. This little, you can see this little like hooked tab, and that can be kind of a little bit of a pain to actually get to hook off and onto, but I assume it'll be a little easier as time passes. But basically we just want to split the entire front end of the Stegosaurus, just being careful of the plates here on the back. You don't want to, you know, pull on those and accidentally break them, because that wouldn't be any fun. Make sure the head splits apart as well. Might want to come here in the bottom and just grab it. There we go. That's got it. So get all that stuff out of the way. We're going to pull the legs apart like so. Just bring them down. And bring them down like this. And you can see the thighs are actually off-centered here. You just want to go ahead and push those up. And then rotate them around. There's a little squeak there, but again, it doesn't sound like a dangerous squeak. It just sounds like heaviness. So once we have that all set, what we want to do is we want to open up the back of the leg here. I guess it'll be easier for you to see it from the inside. Probably should have done this first. Alright, and we're going to swing the leg around, and we're actually going to bend it like the knee kind of forward like so, and then bring it up and in. And you'll see there's a little spot here for the feet to kind of just tuck right in. Just want to tuck it right into that spot there, and then just scooch it all forward. So it should, if the stars align correctly. And you'll have a much easier time doing this because you'll have this thing in your lap or on a table, and you won't be trying to do this like a fool with a camera, you know, keeping your arms out of the way so people can actually see what you're doing. Make sure the dino mouth is closed there, and just bring this whole section in and around. And then the dino mode head will just kind of sit right in there on the inside of the leg, as you can see. And again, this is where, you know, you've got this kind of little gap here. So they could have, I should say, put another little flap right in here just to cover that up and kind of make that hole, you know, disappear, or at least less. But, you know, these are things that happen. And it just is what it is. Alright, so once you've got all that stuff together, what you want to do is come down here, swing this little piece out, and then up front you want to swing this out, and there's another bit I'm going to get hold of, and pull that part out, and then connect those two, and that's going to become the base of the foot. So you got this whole like foot base here. You can see it twists, and all this gold is die-cast metal here, so you got all that going on. Alright, do the same thing on the other side. I'm not going to explain it as much, but you guys kind of have an idea of what's going on now. So just get that all over. Swing this guy in. Come on, get in there. There we go. Just fold it all up. Pull this back. Pull this back. Pull this out. And just connect it all together. Like so. Alright. There we go. And then you just want to twist that right around. Those are basically that's his lower half done. You can leave the dinosaur legs out if you so desire. I mean, you're going to have an empty gap here inside the inner leg, but it'll be more of a, I guess, G1 look if you're a stickler for that sort of thing. But they do have a really nice design painted on the side of the leg here. It fills it in quite nicely, and I think does a great job of filling in that space. So now we've got the upper part of the body to work with here. Let me raise this up a little bit. Alright. So what we want to do here is we are going to grab this red part back here. There we go. I'm just going to unsnap that, and then the whole back plate of spikes, or plates rather, back plate of plates is going to come and swing back like so. I'm going to come around back, pull this red part in half, swing these bits out. Now the tail is going to split down the center here. And you can see stuff kind of happening now. The tail halves are on these little, not very little, but these stalks. And what we're going to do is pull these up. I guess up-ish. I don't think they have to go too far. That should do. Then we're going to come around to the front here. Swing the chest plate open. Bring his head out a little bit. And then these red side panels are going to come in and fold in on themselves like so. And then they're all going to fold and go in just like that, which is going to form basically the torso. We'll get the arms down and out of the way. Now we want to take the tail halves, and now you can see these slots here. So the tail halves are going to come down and just sit in the slots. Now we're going to take these the red pieces that were attached to kind of the butt of Snarl or SEVER. We're going to flip this panel up. You can see this kind of twists. This whole panel has like a bunch of twistiness to it. So you're going to twist these plates up so you can stick these guys underneath, bring the whole thing down, and it's just going to tuck right in there under the tail. Bring the robot head up, close the chest piece, and now we're going to take this top part with the two biggest plates, and we're going to just fold those right down and in like so to give him that cool profile with the or not the profile, the silhouette with the two plates sticking up over his back, which I think looks absolutely awesome. So there you go. You can kind of position the tail however you want it to go. So whatever makes you happy with that. And now we'll do the arms. So the arms, pretty simple but pretty cool. We've got the Stegosaurus legs, of course. What you want to do is come around here and grab these panels here at the front of the legs, like so. I'm going to split those open and swing them down and around, like that. And you want to twist the bicep all the way around. Get the dino leg or foot out of the way. There we go. Open up this panel. Swing the robot hand out. There we go. Fold the panel back up. And now You're going to go ahead and fold this back over. Make sure you do the slots before you do the tabs, of course. Just tab that all together. And then, of course, the dino foot tucks back in up against the back of the forearm there. And a lot of people have a real problem with that. It does not bother me in the least. I think his arms look just fine. But that's alright. To each their own. So do the same thing on the other side, of course. Bring it down and round. Down and round. Swing it. Open this guy up. Bring this guy out. And then tuck this right back here. And there you have SEVER in robot mode. Okay guys, so SEVER's robot mode is articulated just as you would expect from any Fanstoys release. First, let's take a quick look at the head sculpt here. And the head is very plain. You know, I'll certainly give it that. It's definitely plain, little bit on the boring side, but I actually quite like it. I think it's not too expressive given kind of the sort of dumb, you know, character that he's Snarl's supposed to be. You do of course get the removable, you know, face plate rather, a la Masterpiece Ultra Magnus. So you do have that. You can change out the face. So it'd be easy for another group to, you know, sort of make different face plates for this guy, so you can kind of change it up. I do like the, you know, the shape of the head. I don't really go in for the whole bucket head look. I don't think that's anything special. As you can see, you get another spot for a sticker on there of, you know, any various sticker you want to put on there is fine. Of course, he does have the, as I showed you, the head rotates, goes up and down, looks down really nicely. Very cool. He's got nice, solid, heavy ratchets on his arms. Finally, we get ratchets on the shoulders, which I've been just hoping for since, you know, the first release. But he's got really nice outward motion there. He's got the bicep swivel. He's got the elbow joint. It is a double elbow joint, but it's, you know, it is limited, so he's only, you know, gets a 90-degree angle out of that, but it's a nice 90-degree bend. He does have a nice ratcheted waist. He does, of course, have the hips, and, you know, unlike Scoria, he can hold his legs no problem, like so. There you go, nice heavy ratchets. He does have the thigh swivel, as we saw. He's got the knee bend. He's got this peg, which does not want to stay in, but I think it's just because I got something in there that's not quite in all the way. Well, that's alright. That seemed to do it. He does have a toe tilt, an ankle tilt of sorts. But he doesn't really have ankles, so he has kind of a toe tilt. But yeah, really nice articulation on this guy. And as you can see, his backpack is actually quite minimal. These two plates really don't get in the way at all, and they're barely even noticeable from the back. And I think they did a great job of hiding it. Again, a lot of people don't like the black on the back here with the tail. I think it looks fine. I think it would be too much gold if they had put gold chrome on the back here. So I actually like that they kind of went with the black. It does break it up a little bit, and you know, makes it look a little more robotic with all the big heavy gears and things in there. I think they did a really good job with that. There we go. His accessories, of course, he can hold them. He's got the gun. Now, I will mention this. Oh, articulation-wise, he does have the Fanstoys hands, which are, you know, every finger has 2 points of articulation, and the ball-jointed thumb. This guy has super tight finger joints at the base knuckles, so just be very careful. There have been reports of breakages with the fingers for these, so you just got to give them a lot of love the first couple of times, and hopefully they'll loosen up a little bit. and it should be not a problem for you. But oh, I guess we do have to bring this in a little bit. But he can hold his gun, assuming I can get the thing in his hand. There we go. So he does have his gun that he can hold, his rifle, which does blink when you put batteries in it, and press the little white button on the bottom here. This guy stays solid red when you put batteries in it, and this goes in his hand as well. He's got the wrist swivel, and we're gonna try and get his fingers. Yeah, my fingers are already a lot looser than they were when I first opened them up, and I've only played with them for very briefly to start making this video. They're not loose. Don't let me give you that impression. They are, they're still nice and tight, but they are not scary anymore, which is nice. So just get the sword in his hand, and it's gonna pop out just because I think the chrome coating just makes it not want to fit in that hand very well. But once you get those nice tight fingers around, it'll be not a problem for you. He'll hold it just fine. You can see he's got his sword as well. So really nice. This dude is easily my favorite of the Fanstoys Dinobots or Dibots. And we're going to show off some of the other figures here. So here he is with Scoria, and he is a bit taller than Scoria. I mean, Scoria's Triceratops head comes up obviously a bit higher, actually just about to the top of his plates. But as far as head height, he's about half a head taller than Scoria, and certainly a lot wider, as you can see here. I think the fact that his shoulders are rounded has a little bit to do with that. And his shoulders, while they are circular, they're just a little more, I don't know, a little tighter. But he's just got, a little more beefy across the chest. Here he is with Soar. And obviously you can see he's a bit taller than Soar as well, which is, I think looks really nice. And here he is with Grimlock. We'll just move Scoria out of the way here. I'll put Grimlock right over here. And you can see Grimlock is sorely in need of some height and width. Definitely the boots are no longer really doing the job that they did when it was just Grimlock and Scoria. He definitely needs an upgrade. But we also have MP10, who after handling these other guys feels so light. It's kind of funny. So MP10 here you can see, who is just a hair shorter, well, no, actually a hair taller than Soar. They are very close in height, not counting for, of course, the big head crest on Soar. And then just for kicks, here is Masterpiece Moldy. So this is a really massive figure, really nice size, and they didn't overdo it. And I know there's been a lot of comparisons between this and Gigapower's Gutter. I don't have Gutter. I don't plan on getting Gutter. I heard he's a fine figure, so I'm not here to make that judgment call which one's better. It really depends on your aesthetics and your, what works for you. Just because you think something's better doesn't make the other one wrong or bad. It's just better for you. So this one I feel is better for me. I just like the aesthetics better on this one. The size, I actually like the bigger Gigapower version, like the large size I like. But this one, as far as the aesthetics, just really spoke to me. So I actually, I'm going with this one. I got the other Fanstoys guys, so I'm sticking with this. But yes, yeah. So really solid figure. They definitely keep improving with every release, and I'm greatly looking forward to Stomp, their sludge. And even more so, I'm looking forward to their Grimlock release. Grimlock, as many of you may already know, is my very favorite Transformer of all time. And I am desperate for a new upgraded Grimlock that really fits in with the rest of these larger Dinobots. So, very, very cool. Alright, so to get this guy back into dinosaur mode, we're just going to do that real quick. We're just going to remove his weapons, of course. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and pop these panels open again, if we can. There we go. That's got it. He's up. And yeah, now that I've, just moved them around a couple of times, the fingers have loosened up quite nicely, so they should not be a problem. But you really just got to be careful that first time out, because, like I said, folks have broken them, and it's not really anything they did wrong, I'm sure. It's just a matter of, if you come at it just the wrong leverage, you can totally snap one of those fingers off, and it can be just really unpleasant. You just got to give it some definite kid loves the first couple of times. There we go. So I'm just going to rotate these back around. Here. Whoop. There we go. I'm like, am I doing this wrong? I forgot where I was. I forgot who I was. I forgot my name. I'm Rob A. I review Transformers. There we go. Pop this open. Get his head down just a smidge. Pull this up. Pull this up. These up and out of the way. Extend them out. Flip that in. Close it up. Pull these back down. Stick them together. There we go. This can really be the like trickiest part, just getting all this stuff kind of back in order. There we go. That's what we wanted. This comes up like so. There we go. A little too far maybe. There we go. Alright. Yeah, just like that. And then we bring this around. Snap together here. Push this all together. Like so. There we go. There we are. And then right like that. Twist the legs around. Push them off center, which is going to look really weird. He's going to have like 3-step legs there, but that's okay. That's how it's supposed to look. I just want to come up under here and separate these. Go. Back up and in like that. Open up these leg panels. Bring the dino legs around, and then the dino head out, like so. Dino legs around, Dino head out, like so. Close that up. Close that. And it's actually a little easier, I found, if you do this part and clip those up for each half rather than trying to clip the dino head on once it's all together. I just found it a lot easier for me. You may not have the same experience, but there you go. All that goes together. Clip the dino head up. Then get the dino head together. Put that all together like so. Whoop. The tricky thing is, if it doesn't want to go together correctly, you have a hard time like pushing on it because of the plates. You can see how there's a gap here because I didn't quite have it together right when I wanted to get it all in there. There we go. There we go. That's got it. Make sure the hips are straight. There we go. Alright. And make sure yeah, there we go. One of the little leg flaps was kind of in the way there. But now it's just a matter of just lining it up and pegging it together. There you go. Alright. There you go. You have yourself a Stegosaurus, a Seversaurus. There you go. So it really does not take long, as you can see. It actually will take you guys less time because you presumably won't be trying to do this in front of a camera and make sure everything's up and visible again. So really, really fun figure. Not perfect. It's got some flaws, but you know, a real solid Dinobot toy. And well worth the investment, I feel. So that's going to do it for this review, guys. I want to thank you so very much for watching. As always, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more. But in the meantime, thanks again. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.